morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we have a couple of colorless Pokemon that we need to be having just a little bit of a chat about. We are continuing looking through all of the other cards from Legends, Heartbeat, Legendary Beat, I don't know. I've seen different translations of the name. Even Antoine Boulet and Joe from Cerebi.net can't agree on the translation of the name, so that makes me awkward, ladies and gentlemen. That makes me awkward. Never mind. Right, what are we talking about? We've got Tornadus and we've got Toucannon. And we might as well have a start off with Tornadus. Now, starting off, we've got 120 HP, which is quite high for a basic Pokemon. But having said that, in recent videos, I've shown you Pokemon like Xerneas and Regirock, who have 130. So actually, no, 120 is not good enough, I'm afraid. The retreat cost of 1 is quite nice. It gives you a free retreat with U-turn board, so it could be a little bit worse. We have a resistance to fighting here. And I'm expecting a lot of fighting Pokemon coming around. Like a lot of fighting Pokemon. And this is going to be good. And the minus 30 is actually really quite relevant. Something like Excadrill, for instance, should be getting a one-hit KO. Instead, they're not. Even if they use Vitality Band and Martial Arts Dojo, because it is minus 30 now, not minus 20, they still won't get a KO with their main attack. In a world where everyone's looking to play fighting Pokemon, and I think that's going to be where we are, yes. And then weakness to lightning, honestly, it's not that bad since Electro Power rotated out. Most of the ones that are going to get you, like Pikachu and Zekrom, are going to get you anyway, so don't worry your pretty little head about it. And I should mention that colorless Pokemon means you do get powerful colorless energy, or as I like to refer to it, strong energy for colorless Pokemon. Now, the first attack here is one of those that could be kind of useful. 1 colorless energy, 30 damage, discard a special energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. And this really does depend what you're about and what you're playing against, but I just mentioned powerful colorless energy. And that is one of many, many things we've seen lately, because essentially they're all getting them. Every type is getting their own special energy. So lightning Pokemon are having speed energy. When you attach it, you draw 2 cards. And we've seen psychic Pokemon getting horror energy, or horror psychic energy, speed lightning energy, which if you attack into it and do damage, you take 2 damage back. And essentially, people are going to be relying on them more and more as they get better and better. Now, this is only 30 damage, right? This isn't going to take big KOs. It's not supposed to take big KOs. That is not the point of Tornadus. The point of this here is to chip away while denying your opponent their energy. And that's really what you're doing here. It is bit of damage, bit of damage, bit of damage, bit of damage, but actually you've not got your energy. Oh man, you attached a single energy ready to attack next turn with Dragapult. Well, now you can't attach next turn with Dragapult because you need 2 energy, and because I got rid of 1, now you've only got 1 on there, even after you attach next turn. So that's quite fun. Oh, Pikachu and Zekrom was planning on using a full Blitz next turn. Well, you can't. I've got rid of your energy. And this does fit my perfect formula here of basic Pokemon, single colorless energy. Do remember, though, that with a powerful colorless energy, you are doing 50. As for the second attack, 3 colorless energy, 120, discard an energy attached to this Pokemon. I'm less excited about this. The problem is that colorless Pokemon, by their very nature, hit nothing for weakness. So there is nothing you're going to be getting a nice one-hit KO on here. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of single prize Pokemon like Chinchino, Blacephalon, etc. that you will be KOing, but I don't think it's enough. I just told you at the beginning of the video about the difference between 120 and 130, and not only does this have 120, but this does 120. Which, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, really does not make me as happy as you might be expecting it to make me. And we just end up in an awkward situation here. And the free energy, I mean, look, you can use any energy acceleration you like. You can use you can even use twin energy. I just don't think free energy 120 is good enough, and I'm sorry about that. I don't like the second attack. If you're playing it for the first attack anyway, then don't get me wrong, I can get on board with this. And for what it's worth, I do think the first attack is better than the alternatives. I mean, in terms of alternatives, we've got Evil Tal, who is exactly the same, incidentally, 30 damage and discard a special energy, but that is for a darkness energy only, so it's not going to work for every deck. Zera Aura's the same deal, but for a lightning energy, and it does 10 less damage. So again, not loving that one nearly as much. And then we got Black Kyurem that for a twin energy does 30 damage and discards a special energy. But again, it's 2 energy rather than 1. So if you want a basic Pokemon to start wrecking special energy, I do like this Tornadus for that. It is pretty good. I'm giving it 3 Wassies. I think for the first attack, it is good and it is better than the alternatives. I think the second attack is bad, but I do concede there will be some games, or even though it's not great, it's still going to be the best option you've got at the time, so it will be fine. Toucannon, I feel sorry for Toucannon. I feel really sorry for Toucannon. Now, in terms of the basics, 150 on a stage 2 is low, quite frankly. The rest of the thing's basically the same as Tornadus, except the retreat cost of 2 means you're going to need Air Balloon to retreat, boo, etc. But the thing is, we know that the Trumbeak from this set is actually really good. It's got the same ability as the old Beware, which is when you evolve up into it, you draw 3 cards, but it's got a nice low retreat cost, and we live in a world with Scoop Up Net right now, so you can just reuse it again and again. Not the first time Toucannon has been overshadowed by Trumbeak. Can this one hold up? Meh. 2 colorless energy, 60 damage, flip a coin, if heads, discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. And sure, you can use twin energy, and sure, you can use triple acceleration energy, but frankly, you're using a special energy on a stage 2 Pokemon, and I don't think 60 damage is enough. I just don't. It's fine, but it's not even an automatic discard, it's on a flip. Now, the other day we looked at Greedent V, and Greedent V has the exact same attack, except it is 40 rather than 60, but it's on a basic Pokemon rather than a stage 2. So if you really want to, and I suppose it can't use twin energy, which is genuinely relevant, but even so, it's a basic rather than a stage 2, I'd rather play Greedent. The fact of the matter is, this is just meh. It's fine. It's alright. It's the kind of card where if you can get it out in a pre-release and flip a couple of heads, you're going to wreck your opponent. But it's not the kind of card, or at least this isn't the first kind of attack, where we're going to be looking at, oh, that's the next great deck. This is what I want to build around for the next tournament, etc. I'm not saying it's a bad attack. I'm saying that for more than 1 energy on a stage 2 Pokemon, I want more. Now, as for the second attack, 3 energy, 160, return 2 energy from this Pokemon to your hand. And again, it's fine, but it's too awkward. Now, the ideal situation here is that on Toucannon, you have a twin energy and a powerful colorless energy, and then what you do is you return the twin energy to your hand, and then you attach 160 back to your hand, attach 160 or 180 because of the powerful colorless energy back to your hand. The problem we've got here is that, is it really enough? I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the fact that if Toucannon gets KO'd, I've still got the twin energy in my hand, ready to attach it to another Pokemon. That is awesome. But I'm just a little bit about the whole thing, if I'm perfectly honest with you. I mean, 160 will get Dedenne, but it won't get much. Okay, right. It will get single prize Pokemon and Dedenne, that's about it. Even 180, yes, sure, you'll get a few Vs like Crobat, yeah, and Celebi, woo! But you're not getting many Pokemon Vs. And you're not getting any tag teams, and you're not getting any VMAXs, and you're free energy on a stage 2, and you're just not doing enough. And that's my biggest problem with Toucannon. There's nothing about this attack which is bad, or offensive, or anything along those lines. It is the very definition of fine. What I do have a problem with, however, is the fact that it's just not good enough. It's a bit too much energy on a stage 2, and you're not doing quite enough damage, and honestly, that's the recipe for a Pokemon that just ends up not being played. It's not bad, it's not offensive, but there's nothing I look at this and go, yeah, about. Hey ho, I give it between 2 and 3 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies, that would be barbaric. So they're the new colourless Pokemon, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what I think, but I'd very much like to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts, be nice, and then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.